Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss different functional elements of a measurement system. So let us start. Functional elements of a measurement system. So a measurement system has two types of functional elements. First one is the basic functional elements and second is the auxiliary functional elements. Basic functional elements are the integral part of all the instruments. That means they are the essential functional elements that will be found in all the instruments. Every instrument has basic functional elements, while auxiliary functional elements are those elements which are incorporated depending on the type of requirement, nature of technique, etc. So they are not integral to the instrument and they will be used in certain special situations. For example, suppose your instrument is giving you analog output and you want digital output. So you can connect some auxiliary functional element that will convert the analog output into the digital one. So this is the use of auxiliary functional elements. Now let us see the elements. So first we will see examples of basic functional elements. So there are three basic functional elements that are present in every measurement system or instrument. First one is the transducers. So in every measurement system or in every instrument you will find transducers. The function of transducer is to sense the input signal into one physical form and convert it into some another physical quantity which is more convenient to measure. For example, you can consider the case of a thermometer. Your thermometer senses temperature, which is one physical quantity, and it converts the change in temperature into the change in length. So it is sensing the change in temperature and converting it into the change in length. Similarly, thermocouple, it is sensing the change in temperature and converting it into a potential difference. So this is how transducer element work. Then second basic functional element is the signal conditioning element, or you can also call it as intermediate element. So the function of signal conditioning element is this. It receives the signal from transducer and it converts them into some appropriate form for processing. Because sometimes the output of the transducer is very weak, so we may need to enlarge that. Sometimes transducer gives a large output, so we need to attenuate that. So these type of works are carried by signal conditioning elements. And the last basic functional element is data presentation elements. So now we have received the signal, we have processed the signal, now we have to present the readings for display so that the person can identify that what is the magnitude of the physical quantity. Say what is the temperature, what is the pressure, what is the dimension. So it need to be displayed. So for that, different type of arrangements like pointer and scale arrangement. Then these days you will find display on some screen. So different type of display elements are there. So all these display work will be done by data presentation element. Now we will see examples of auxiliary functional elements. So as we have already seen that auxiliary functional elements are not integral to the instruments or measurement system, but they can be used depending on the requirement. So some of the auxiliary functional elements are calibration element, external power element, and feedback element. So sometimes you need to calibrate the signal which you are receiving. So for that you can incorporate a calibration element in your instrument. Now sometimes your instrument needs some external power for their operation. So in that case you need to install a external power element to your instrument. And sometimes you need some feedback. So what is the output that is given by the instrument, and you need to process it, because sometimes for example you want some control. So suppose you are measuring the temperature, and your instrument will give some reading, and you want to control the temperature. Suppose the reading is high, so you want to reduce the that temperature. So the feedback element will give feedback to the control element, and the control element will control the temperature. So if you want control, then you need feedback elements. So these are some of the auxiliary functional elements. Apart from this, you can also find several other functional elements. Now this is the figure which is showing generalized measurement system with basic and auxiliary functional elements. So in this figure, as you can see, here is shown the physical quantity which is to be measured. So that physical quantity could be anything: pressure, temperature, distance, anything. So the transducer will sense the physical quantity, and for that it may have some primary sensing element, and sometimes more than one transducer is needed. So then we can also have some secondary sensing element. Then after the physical quantity is sensed by the transducer and converted to some appropriate physical quantity, then that signal is sent to the signal conditioning element. So after transducer element, signal conditioning element will come into the picture. So in signal conditioning element, we can have amplifier, we can have analog to digital converter, or digital to analog converter, we can have integrator, we can have filter. So depending upon the need, we may need one of them, or we may need all of them. So it will depend on the need. So how our signal is coming, whether it needs amplification, whether it needs attenuation, so whether we need to convert analog to digital or digital to analog. If there is some noise, then we need some filters to filter out that noise. So all these come under the category of signal conditioning elements. Then last basic functional element is the data presentation elements. So for presenting the data, we can have some digital display, some analog indicator like pointer and scale arrangement. Then we can have data logger which can store the data, because sometimes a lot of data is coming and it is not possible to view all the data. So, and in that case, we can store the data and we can later on view that data. Sometimes some graphical display is also available, and sometimes the printed output is also available. So all these come under the category of data presentation elements, and finally from the data presentation element you will get the output. So these are the basic functional elements: transducer, signal conditioning, and data presentation. Then sometimes you need a power element to operate some transducers or some signal conditioning elements or some calibration elements. And sometimes we need to calibrate the signal which is coming from the physical quantity. So whatever physical quantity you are measuring, so sometimes you need to calibrate that, and for that this calibration element is needed. So this is shown by the dashed lines because we may need them, or we may not need them. So it also depends on the situation. Sometimes you need auxiliary elements and sometimes you do not need them. But these basic functional elements, they are integral to the instrument and they are always needed. So because of that they are shown with solid lines. So this is how the general block diagram of any measurement system will look like. Now we comes to the examples of basic functional elements. Now we will see in a real instrument on how these basic functional elements are present. So in this figure you can see the diagram of Bourdon tube pressure gauge. So this is the Bourdon tube pressure gauge which you might have studied in your thermodynamics class. So from here the pressure which is to be measured is applied, and when this pressure is applied, so this will result in the deflection of this hollow tube, and this pressure is converted into the displacement here. So this tube, hollow Bourdon tube, it is acting as the transducer because it is sensing the pressure and it is converting this pressure into the displacement. So this hollow Bourdon tube, it is acting as the transducer. Then you can see here we are having some lever arrangement and gear arrangement. So now this signal is amplified here, and then this signal is further converted into some rotary motion. So this is what signal conditioning element is doing. It is amplifying the signal by lever and gear arrangement. And last is the presentation element. So here we have a pointer and we are having some scale. So this pointer and scale arrangement will give the display of the reading. So this is how this display element will show the reading. So you can see that any instrument, here we consider the Bourdon tube. You can also consider some other instruments. So every instrument will be having these basic functional elements, which are the transducer, signal conditioning element, and data presentation element. Now to understand in more detail, I have shown here the exploded view of Bourdon tube gauge. So as you can see, this is the figure of the Bourdon tube gauge, and here is shown the exploded view. So you can see it has different components like the scale. Then you can see here we are having the pointer, and then these there are different elements which are used to connect all these things. And here you can see from here we can apply the pressure signal, and in between here you are having some board and tube arrangement. This is your board and tube, and all these are arranged with the help of these all these parts. So this is this is the board and tube here, and you are applying the pressure from here, and this is the board and tube which is converting the pressure signal into the displacement, and then all these parts are used to make this board and tube pressure gauge. Again, I have shown here some of the figures. So this is your board and tube, and this is the pointer, and from here bottom you can apply the pressure, and this is the lever and gear arrangement. So you can see all these elements are present in a board and tube. Now here we can see the working of board and tube gauge. So this is the board and tube gauge. Now you can see the exploded view of board and tube gauge. So you are having different components as you can see, and this is the socket from where pressure is applied, and this is the board and tube. Now once again all these are combined. Now we can see the working of this. So from bottom this pressure is applied. So this pressure is applied from here, and it is results in the movement of this board and tube, and this motion is transferred to the lever and gear arrangement, and is result in the movement of this pointer. So board and tube gauge also comes with different accuracies. So this is having this much of accuracy, while this board and tube is having this much of accuracy. So it depends on the need, how much accuracy you want, and accordingly you can select different type of board and tube for the measurement of pressure. Now we will come to the board and tube gauge with electrical readout, because sometimes you prefer the electrical output, because these days with the advent of computers and the processing of electrical signals are much easier than the and some other signals. So this is the block diagram of board and tube pressure gauge with digital readout. So you can see here initially we are sensing the pressure, and for that we are having the board and tube. So this will sense the pressure, and it will convert the pressure signal into the displacement signal. Now what we have done, we have installed a LVDT, that is linear variable differential transducer. Now what this LVDT will do, this LVDT will convert this X into the voltage. So here we are converting the quantity into the this displacement into the electrical quantity. So we are getting output as V1. So now this voltage can be very small, so we need some signal conditioning element. So that will be done by electrical voltage amplifier. So it will amplify this V1 into V2, and now this voltage can be presented with the help of a data presentation element. And now to power this LVDT and this electric voltage amplifier or digital voltmeter, we need some external power element. So you can clearly see what is the difference between a simple Bourdon tube gauge and a Bourdon tube gauge with electrical readout. So in simple gauge, we do not have this LVDT and all these elements. So we are having the simple Bourdon tube plus some lever and gear arrangement and pointer and scale arrangement. But if you want to convert the Bourdon tube gauge with electrical readout, then we need to incorporate LVDT, then this electrical voltage amplifier, then digital voltmeter, and some external power element is also needed. So this is how you can convert the output of any instrument into the electrical output, and that electrical output can be beneficial if you are having a lot of data and you want to store the data in the computer. Then that electrical output can be easily stored. So this is how a Bourdon tube gauge can be converted into Bourdon tube gauge with electrical readout. So this is all for today. Thanks a lot. In the next video, we will discuss the classification of instruments, how you can classify different type of instruments. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.